you back?
Yeah. I'm back. I'm gonna tell y'all, everybody, family, everybody, who've been tuning in for a while, they know I work the third shift, the graveyard shift. I work night. I'm gonna go probably in about somewhere between 15 and 30 minutes for good. I'm gonna eat, relax before the Shabbat comes in. So Shabbat Shalom to everybody. Give me a little rest because it's back to it again tonight. All right.
Yeah. Y'all root for Capt, man.
Con. Hey, but all praises, hey man, it's a pleasure to be here, man, with our mighty brother Ash, man, who I affectionately, man, because I love our brother. He's been a great leader for our organization, our general. All right. And I don't say that in a way to try to gas anybody up to make us seem more grandiose than we are. You know what I'm saying? But when you lead well, and you've been a good example, right? None of us perfect, but you're doing your absolute best, right, to keep these law, statutes, the commandment, and to be a good leader, to be the type of brother that a brother like myself and the rest of the brothers in our organization can look up to, man. That's commendable. All right. And this is a brother, you know what I'm saying, who I know I can learn from. I know the brother is in our organization, and brothers who watching right now and sisters watching right now, you could learn from the brother Ashrakar. And sisters, you could also benefit from learning about your role from a sister like Yapa Rakar. All right. Now, that's not to say that we all got it all figured out here at F.o.g, because we don't. All right. But but what we need to know, what we need to understand, the most important things, you know what I'm saying? We got that. And then everything else, that comes with time, experience, understanding, wisdom, and the grace of our Lord Yahawashi. All right. So with that being said, I know that I got a specific portion that I want to talk about, which is going to be the benefits that come from a brother being able to do what is lawful, you know what I'm saying, and deal with his wives. But we're talking about decently in order.
Yeah, Con. Let's we'll pause on this segment and we'll get into yours real quick.
Con, because look, I want to start in Genesis real quick. Right, I got a few precepts I'm going to go through.
I'll read.
I need Genesis. I need the Genesis 2, and where it starts about with the serpent. All right, the serpent, Adam and Eve. They're getting their roles.
Real quick.
I think that's Genesis 2. All right, and I want y'all to follow me, brothers and sisters, man, because you'll see when I'm done laying it all out, the benefits on both sides, and I think that Lord willing, man, it's gonna become crystallized. Although the practice of poly lifestyle done decently in order in our culture is not may not be for everybody and may not be beneficial for everybody, but for those who it could potentially be, these some things I want to point out, in particularly the benefits right now.
And just as a little note, I would strongly discourage a brother who is not doing the work and deeply into doing the work. I would strongly discourage him from practicing polygyny, because he's never gonna get off the couch.
Never.
Because he's really he's got his lesser needs before the work of the Most High, which is it's gonna be something that's a magnet attached to your ass that attaches to your couch. So
right.
Yeah.
That's right. So start at go ahead and start at 3 and 1. That's perfect.
This is Genesis chapter 3, verse 3. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahweh God had made.
Right. So of all everything that was made, all of the nations, all of the everybody who was dwelling in Eden, in and around the garden, the that the nation that the serpent came from, his people were, you want to say they had the gift of the gab, so to speak. All right,
That's
know how to
true.
talk. All right,
That's true. That word serpent actually is rooted in soothsayer.
Khan. Mm-hmm. Right. So he knew how to, in a sense, because all words, you use words to cast spells.
Mm.
Okay. So let's be clear. There's nothing super mystical or scary about that. And he did. He cast a spell on Eve, which Eve in turn took that witchcraft. She took that to her husband. Okay. And we see what happened. Right. Go ahead.
Uh, that God had made. And he said unto the woman,
Mm-hmm.
again, have God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden?
Right. So right. He's like, well, Yahweh said that, that you can do whatever you want, but you just can't deal with that over there. He said not to, right? And what the woman say?
And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden,
Right.
but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die.
Right. And this is the knowledge of good and evil, which they had a base understanding of knowledge and good and evil. The point is not the good and the evil. The point is Yahweh told them not to do it. All right. Keep going for me. All right.
And the serpent said unto the woman,
Mm-hmm.
ye shall not surely die.
See that? You see how slick tongued that devil was? He
Oh,
said, yeah, I know the Lord said not to talk to me and don't learn this right here, man. But you ain't gonna die,
oh,
right? But she did die. We all died, right? We died a spiritual death, right? That actually and this time still lingers, right? Still lingers with for if you want to say humanity, but this story is not really about humanity. It's about God, the Most High's chosen line. All right. So
oh,
his chosen line to this day, even from the beginning in Eden on earth, earth being the land, right? Eden being the paradise that was created for us here, right? This is Eden, right? That even from the beginning, you know what I'm saying, that he had that chosen line, right? And this story is chronicled throughout the pages of the Bible, from the Torah to Tanakh, into the epistles, and Salakia, from the Gospels to the epistles to John the Revelator. All right, now
oh.
watch this. Keep going. Jump down to verse uh verse right. I wanted to get the beginning 10. A little bit further than that. And he said naked. Oh, okay, 14. That's what I want.
Come on, verse 14.
Yep.
And Yahweh said, and Yahweh God said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field.
Right, and above every beast of the field. You see what I'm saying? Above all, he is cursed. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's so damn wicked, right? And he takes that wickedness and he always has a specific nation or people who he wills his influence through. All right, and they are cursed. You see what I'm saying? That's why it tells you in Isaiah, I think that's 36, that they are the people of his curse. All right. So understand that. Now keep going.
On thy belly shalt thou go, and the dust thou shalt eat all the days of thy life.
Mm-hmm.
Put enmity between thee and the woman, and
See
between
that?
thy seed and her seed.
Right. And
It's
between the seeds, that proves that this is talking about distinct people groups. So there's enmity between a certain seed on the earth. This is the protagonist and the antagonist if you're looking at it as a movie. All right. So if you look at it in common day, you can tell who's the protagonist and who's the antagonist. All right, and the enmity that is brought between these two people's seeds. All right, right. So keep going up.
It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
So it's saying you're not going to come out unscathed. The nation who God chose is not going to come out unscathed. They're going to suffer, right? Through much tribulation. Acts 14 and 22, we're going to enter into the kingdom. But eventually, we're going to get to take the head of our enemy. All right. Keep going. This is the important part here.
Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy children shall, Salakia, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
See that? What's the point that I wanted to make here? That and the desire. What is your desire? Right? What does the word desire mean? Right? That's like in the innermost of what you want, your essence. It should be in line with what your husband wants to do. Right? I like to see the definition of desire, if we could. Right? Because it says that your desire, right, is to your husband. All right. So we want to take a look at that, right, and drill down a little bit deeper on it, right? When it says that thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. So from the beginning, the order was already established that the man was going to be over the woman, but that her desire would be towards what he wanted to do. Okay, and yes, the woman has her own mind. Our sisters are intelligent and smart, and they have things they want to accomplish. But the overarching arc of the family is through the man and his desire, because that is his role. That's how it's ordained from the beginning. All right, for the man to lead and the woman to be a support, playing the background, so to speak. Right, which doesn't mean that her role is any less diminished. Okay. We'll keep going.
Do you see the definition?
Oh no, you gotta take this one down.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
All right,
yeah, here we go. This is what we want right here. Desire. See that? That's one of the words I was going to use too. But go ahead,
So tashka. Desire, longing, craving.
See that? Craving. Like you ain't ate in 4 days, right? That's how a woman's supposed to be towards a man. She's supposed to be hungry for that man, like she ain't ate in a week, right? And he's the juiciest piece of a steak, fish, chicken, whatever you like, long as it's lawful. All right. See that, and look at the usages of desire. All right. Right, but anyway, like I said, it's a craving, it's a longing. You know what I'm saying? It's something that you should always want. It's in your nature to actually be a support system and a pillar of rest for your husband. All right, so that's just the point I wanted to get on desire. That is normal. It's natural for you to want to do that, and don't feel yourself. Don't let this fake feminism, right? This modern day feminism tell you that you wanting to do what your husband is doing is somehow diminishing you. No, you not doing what your husband wants to do is actually what diminishes you and takes you away from your natural role. And your heavenly Father is not pleased.
Look, Song of Solomon 7 and 10. I am my beloved's, and his desire is toward me. So y'all supposed to desire each other.
That's right, because it works both ways.
And it's like sex with no love involved. Sex causes attachment, right? And the way that it works ideally is a man get with a virgin. That woman deals with the release of oxytocin, and it creates a certain type of connection that can never be replicated again, but it attaches her to him. And every time y'all have that sex and that type of union, it allows you to reconnect, and it goes perfect when there's love involved as well.
That's
So
right.
there's a scientific explanation for this as well.
Right.
And it even causes a mild form of mind control.
Yeah, because the man is, so to speak, the handler for the woman. You know what I'm saying? And you can call it mind control, but in reality, if they're both desiring each other, they both have a level of control over each other, and especially over each other's body. That's what Paul told you in his epistle, right? That you don't control your body and she don't control hers, right? Why? Because they're subject to us. That's why when you long for each other, you know, the man feels a certain type of way and the woman feels that tingle, right? They come together. All right. Now, jump back and let's read about the man real quick. What is his role?
And unto Adam, he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and
Why did he hearken unto the voice of his wife if he didn't love her?
because she had a stronger influence over him than
That's
the
right.
truth.
See that?
It comes full circle now.
Comes full circle. And you women, just like we read in Ezra, when Zeruiah was given that right, the influence that the woman have, you can't be you women don't know how much power you actually have if you learn how to execute it in the right way. Utilize the soft power you have. Saying soft makes it seem like it's weak, but there's a lot of strength in it, right? When you learn how to wield it properly. All right. You can get your man to, he might not want to do something, but if you can execute that soft power in the proper way, you can get him to do it.
Motivate him.
Motivate him to do it. And your man can be the type of man who was sitting around not doing nothing, you know what I'm saying? But with your soft power, the things that you can do, you can motivate that man to achieve things that he would have never even thought he could. Why? Because he want to provide for you. Because he love you.
Yeah.
He want to bring, as they say, the turkey bacon. We talking about the turkey bacon home for you to fry up.
That sounds good right now. Breakfast.
Who you telling? Come on, look, let's finish with the man real quick.
Mm-hmm. And has eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it.
He disobeyed the Most High God so that he could be in good standing with his woman. Oh, Lord. And y'all say the man don't love the woman?
Look at Will Smith. He went and smacked the shit out of his brother so that he could be in good standing with his woman.
Why? He could defend his woman's honor so he wouldn't have to go home and deal with it. Look, am I saying that's right? No, I understand where he's coming from.
You seen that? You seen the Chris Rock stand up? Keep my now look, he's a proverb and a byword.
That's right. Don't get Chris Rock.
Curses in real time.
Right. Come on. Let's finish this up though. This is the point I want right here.
That I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life.
Right.
Thorns and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field.
See, thorn and thistles, man. Hard labor, man. Hard work, man. All the days of your life. Right? And in the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread. The whole point, you have to read no more, is that a man is going to have to work hard, right? So men, we build the world that the woman lives in. All right? That is the role from the beginning. You cannot circumvent that. And then your role is to live inside the world that man builds, right? Being a helpmate and a support system to him. Being a pillar of rest. Why? Because he has to go out by the sweat of his brow. Thorns and thistles.
And now you got to help get out that hole. You help me. So wherever you push that nigga to, you got to follow. So be careful about pushing the nigga.
So the first point I wanted to make here is that the roles were laid out in the beginning of Genesis, that it's not okay in no type of way for the woman to come out of her role, out of her feminine, and think that the man's desire all of a sudden is going to be towards her, and then now he's going to rule over her. No, it says his desire is towards you, but you don't ever get to rule over him. All right, that's just the way it is. All right, now can you jump to Genesis chapter 49, verse 1?
You said 49 and 1?
49 and 1. Mm-hmm.
This is Genesis chapter 49, verse 1.
Yep.
And Jacob called unto his sons and said,
and Jacob called to who?
His sons.
How many sons did Jacob have?
Jacob had a gang of sons.
Jacob had a gang of sons, and he had a daughter too, did he not?
Yes, sir.
That's right. And how would it come to get to this point in Genesis 49 where he's calling his sons together? Sons, how did the sons come about? Right? The sons came about for the product of 4 different women, Jacob's 4 wives. All right? He had Leah, right, who was described as being tender-eyed, which does not mean she was ugly, right? Okay? And Rachel was described as beautiful, which you would call like a model type, right? In modern terms, a dime piece. Okay? But that does not mean that Leah was ugly. Okay? Right? It just means that Rachel was beautiful, right? And then he also had the sister Zelpha, I think that's how you say it, so I can probably tearing it up, right? And that's that was one of his concubines, or a lesser wife. And then Delpha, I believe her name starts with a D, right? 4 women, right, to bring forth what we call now our nation. These are our patriarch, his wives, right? These holy women, right? These holy women. Get 2 Peter chapter 3 for me.
Second Peter chapter 3. Where do you want me to start?
I want you to start at 1 Peter chapter 3, and I want you to start at verse 4.
This is 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 4. But let it be the hidden man of the heart, which is not corruptible.
See that? The hidden man of the heart, that is not corruptible. All right, read on.
Even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit.
See, the ornament of a meek and a quiet spirit, right? That's what we all need, right? To create in us a new heart, oh Lord, right? A heart of flesh, right? That's meek and quiet in spirit, right? Read on.
Salakia, hold on.
Salakia. Oh, I got it.
Which meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of God a great price.
Which in the sight of God is a great price. Sisters, being quiet and being meek and being humble is not a burden. It's not you being a lesser in any way. Right? It's actually when you're able to get inside and live in this role of being meek and quiet in spirit, which in the sight of God is a great price, it's actually showing you executing and exhibiting your most the most strength that you have. Right? Watch this, verse 5.
Look, real quick. The word quiet in the Greek is esokios. It means to be peaceable.
Right.
Tranquil.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's what we were saying from the beginning. You're supposed to be the man's peace. When it be quiet, I don't mean like you got to sit in the corner and shut up. You've never heard us say that. Because it's not what it means. The woman's not to sit in the quiet and just shut the hell up, barefoot and naked. No. It don't work like that.
It just really don't be contentious.
Right. Because men don't value a woman being argumentative and combative, right?
Yeah, right? Especially when you can't hang with them in combat. Because the moment you elevate it to combat, that's the man's lane. And what's going to happen is you're going to seek to actually have him in submission, because you can't have the discussion on the same level. So it's best that you don't escalate it there.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
And look, it may sound cold, but that is the truth, because men think logically while women think more emotionally. That's why the conversations are so screwed between men and women when they don't know each other. Now, it's different when you're talking with your rib because you know her, okay, or your woman, you know her. But the conversations outside of that between men and women, they shouldn't be happening like that, right? But we want to get to brothers and sisters what we should be focusing on, and how to make, if you going to do it in a lawful manner, in a righteous manner, how to make it work. Now watch what verse 6 says about Sarah.
Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham.
See, Sarah obeyed Abraham. She was peaceable. All right, she was a helpmeet. What did she call him?
Calling him Lord.
Calling him Lord. Sisters, calling him Lord.
Obeying him, calling him Lord, not just calling him Lord.
Right? Not just calling him Lord. She obeyed him and she called him Lord. Right? And look what Sarah did. Sarah wasn't the type, oh no, I can't share my man. No, she was a good, holy woman, a separate woman. She said, I can't have this baby. I'm down with your program so much. Why don't you take my handmaid and Hagar and go ahead and handle that? See, y'all women y'all don't want to hear this though, man. But y'all say y'all daughters of Sarah though. And I'm not saying this to be hypercritical.
Yeah, for real. Like, there's certain shit we gotta shake in order to even be in the camp. You know what I'm saying? Azarayah called me general, but when he got back on the chat, I said, "Hey, you want me to read for you, Ak?" You know, a lot of niggas, like, we can't get together about nothing because a lot of us can't shake our ego, but when we can, look, certain things that would appear to be magic start to happen.
That's right. So when we shake our ego and we drop our pride, you know, we can start to see the full picture, right? Like Paul, like, again, I know I love my brother Paul, right? I do, right? I ain't talking about when he was going off though, right? And if you mad about that, we could talk about that another time. But it's like you got that mirror, you know. I know in my bedroom, and probably a lot of you brothers and sisters' bedroom, you got the mirror, the vanity where your wife, you know, gets herself together, looks at her full body pic. Right now, that mirror is normally really clear, but when it's foggy, you can't see what's going on. Right? But it's like that. Salaki, that's my phone. 1 second, Salaki, I gotta take this. Hey, Shalom, babe.
But let it be after the hidden man of the heart, in that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of God great peace. And this is something brothers and sisters can learn from, because the context starts at the brother Peter saying that, look, it's not so much about the outward appearance. And we be so quick to put on fringes. The rest of the garment we don't put on, like we talked about earlier, being clothed in righteousness. I was just covering for you out.
Yeah, Carmen, I'm glad you went here, because this is the important. We should have read a little bit more of this from the beginning, because it's not about you just, you know, oh, I gotta submit. No, right? It's about the whole package, right? How you adorn yourself, how you going to execute the soft power that you possess, right? How you can be meek and quiet of spirit, which in the sight of God, again, is a great price, right? So that's really what it's about. All right. Now, finish verse 6 for me, barbecue shop.
Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are.
Hold on. whose daughters, sisters ye are, which means that she is your example. She is one of your prime examples on how to conduct yourself as a righteous, holy woman. Right? And this don't mean that when Paul says, oh, Peter is talking about how you were doing. No, you can get dressed up, look beautiful. We got the most beautiful women on the planet, hands down. Right? But there are things that are more important about that than the way you're doing yourself. It's about what you got in here, right? And up here.
Hey, real quick. Yapa recall, this is fine sister in the chat named Yapa recall. She said, not just for the man, the peace goes both ways.
Yes.
She will also have peace. Meaning she's not going to suffer from the mental illnesses that come from the turmoil that we bring to our own relationships when we operate the worldly way.
Hey, look.
What a point that sister made. I need to see what's up with Yapa recall.
Yeah, man, that sound like a good riff for you potentially, my brother.
Yeah, I see them dimples through the little ass box right there.
Hey, but look again. The piece goes and the piece does go in both ways, right? Because look, the reason why our women are the most divorced, only 1 out of 4 of y'all married, right? The most single, I think 64% of eligible Black women are single and have at least 1 child, right? And then not to mention the rate, I can't even remember right offhand the rate at which our single Black women suffer from mental illness. It's an epidemic.
God, man, that's some sick ass shit, man.
It's sick, man.
And it's like we like the shit too.
Right. And it's something that we should not like, man. We should want to create the peace and the rest at home for each other, right? Because not only I'm speaking on the women now, but men, we're suffering from mental illness too. We're suffering from depression.
You know, it's all that emotional dysregulation, man.
That's right.
Because we too divided. We split up on too many different foundations.
Right. See how and you see how it all comes back full circle. Right? So that was it on that. And now I'm gonna no more precepts. I'm gonna talk briefly and I'm gonna show one thing and then I'm gonna finish, family. I appreciate y'all bearing with us. Lord willing, it's been very edifying for y'all. I like the comments, man, in the comment section too. All right. And keep dropping them there. I wanna show something real quick. All right. But first, let me say this. So we talked about Adam, right? We talked about Jacob, right? And then now we also talked about Abraham, right? So we talked about some of our patriarchs, right? And how they conducted themselves and how their women conducted themselves. And especially Jacob, his four wives helped bring forth a nation. So polygamy or polygyny, when it's done right, is about nation building, right? And I want to talk a little bit about the wealth, all right? The potential. Let's get down to the pocketbook issues, as they say, right?
Oh shit, not the pocketbook issues.
Not the pocketbook issues, right? Let me show y'all something. All right. Let me show y'all something. And I'm using him as an example, right? The person I'm about to use. But
Terry Jacobs, if the husband wanted to let his wife lead, is that okay? Let's talk about this. Not in totality, but delegation is important. And what delegation implies is that a woman is able to step into leadership in her area. My wife makes tassels for the nation. She cooks, she cleans, she's innovative when it comes to creative ways to bring in income. Should I micromanage her in the kitchen? No. I should remind her what things have pork in it, what things have X, Y, and Z in it. But then I should get up out of her way because she's a leader in that field. And this is why you should not get a dumb woman. You should get a wise woman
That's right.
because she knows how to maneuver in areas that you potentially might trust her in. Another thing is I bring home money, but my wife is better at keeping track of what bills is coming up than I am. And while my mind's divided into what's going on with the work, it's more important that I find ways to delegate. So usually I'm like, look, pay what you're gonna pay when you're gonna pay it. The money there, the money there. And I'm going back to work. So, that's how a wife is in a leadership position, but she's not supposed to take the wheel and pilot the ship. If the man says, look, I need you to, take a step back and I'm gonna take over in this area for a minute. Um, she needs to not be entitled to that position to where she can get out of the way. If that helps you, if you understand. But go ahead, Cap.
Yeah, Kyle, I just want to piggyback, man. It's not the woman's natural role. You don't want to get her out of her natural role and her natural space, because if she begins to lead you, then she's going to in turn become more masculine, right? You don't want that. You want her to maintain her feminine energy, right? And be supportive for you, right? But there may be things, as the brother Ash said, that you can give your woman the leadership role in. Nothing wrong with that,
Yeah.
right? As long as she's still gonna refer back to you, and generally, if she's a good woman, she's gonna still seek your guidance and your approval,
When
even though she have the leeway to make decisions. All right,
you bring that up,
you want to remember that.
you see.
All right. So, I'm gonna share my screen if I can.
Hey, and if y'all coming in, man, make sure you like, subscribe, make sure y'all share this link. That's the most important contribution that you can make.
Absolutely.
Apologies in the chat. If we have done our thing, let me get fire in the chat. Cap's about to,
Please.
and I could tell.
Hey, I'm about to drop a couple of last things on y'all. I want y'all to really pay attention and understand this, both men and women. To the men first, all right? To the men first, understand this and understand it in context. I'm going to give some context too. All right? So let me see. All right, so I'm going to start here. Let me share my screen real quick. Barbecue shop. Oh, my screen was shared. And I want to get the right page. Right. Boom. So, all right. So, right. When we're talking about polygamy or polygyny, right, the benefits, right, we're going to talk about the financial benefits of it, because our people do not understand how money works, what it takes to do the things that you want to do, especially just it's the simple fact of retiring. All right. Right. So it says how much money is needed to retire with the family. I typed in the savings required for a family of 3 to retire. Right. It says if you want to comfortably retire, you should aim for a retirement nest egg of at least $500,000.
And that's to retire uncomfortably. Because
And this is bring that out. This is uncomfortably. Right. I wanted to show this because your boy Cap got hair. I know y'all ain't never seen me without my hat, right? I ain't completely bald headed yet, right? But look, it says if you want a comfortable retirement. Now, this is saying comfortable, but this is not actually true for a family of 3, right? What this is framing is you want to be making around this amount, around $500,000 with a family of 3, right? Which will give you a monthly income of about $2,500. And $2,500 a month on retirement is not enough to live off of.
especially by the time you gotta be medicated when you're old. Fucking Christ, that's crazy. Salakia.
Right.
That's crazy.
Y'all see this? Do y'all see this? Right? That's why I said we do not understand the importance of nation building, right? And how nation building through the family can be a very vital and important tool, right? All right.
Yeah.
So literally, actually, what it takes for a family of three, and I'm gonna just say the average state, I'm gonna say Florida where I live, for you to retire comfortably, right? You need to have $2.5 million in your savings by the time you're 65. Okay. So what is that uh average out to you making? That means you by yourself, brother, means you would have to be coming home with an annual income of around about 250 grand yearly. What does the average black man make here in America? $42,000 a year. The average black woman makes $28,000 a year. You two average incomes together, is that enough to retire with? I'll wait.
Uh, I'm thinking we might have to go back to Jeremiah 29.
That's why I said it was going to come full circle, King. I want you to go there. I got one more point to make, and then we're going back there, and I'm done making my point.
Nah, you can go in. I'm not gonna lie, that shit took my breath. Like it's one thing to know it's bad, but it's another thing when the numbers just laid out like that.
Look, and I'm glad you wanted me to take this, man, because when you said it, I immediately started thinking about this. And I'm like, our people have to understand this in a tangible way to understand why building a proper family, multiple kids, 3, 4, 5, 6 goddamn kids with life insurance policies on them, 2 wives, 3 wives with life insurance policies on them, and your ass too. This is what we need.
Oh yeah, that whole life on every party is definitely gonna help. That's
Man, they need to TikTok this and send this around to every damn camp, right? So we're and for all our sisters and brothers and sisters in these camps to understand if you want to. First of all, you got to understand. We talked about how to do it the right way, what you should be doing. You got to law, statutes, and commandments. You got to be an alpha male. The woman should be in her natural role. But this is just a tangible reason, right, that everybody can understand of why we gotta focus on nation building.
like,
Because
look,
if we got Salakia, go ahead, King.
I'm gonna say like we're barely even sustaining a nation at this
Our
rate.
nation is not sustained. It is not. Our people in general are not sustained. Our communities are not sustained. Our kids are not sustained. Our wives are not sustained. That's why our women feel the way we do. They feel unprotected by the man because they understand some of them, right? And our men, you need to understand this. What it takes, man, for you to take care of your women, your children, and to retire comfortably if you have to here in Babylon.
See?
I just want this to be visceral for you. I want everybody to feel this, right? The average black man makes $42,000 a year. The average white man makes $48,000 a year.
Hey, go back up,
All right. Got you. What you want to say again?
That right there.
Oh, kind. Yeah, here we go. Right.
Trying to get my calculator out. So it says if you want a comfortable retirement, you should aim for a nest egg of 500,000, which will give you a monthly income of 2,500 per year, enough to cover basic expenses. A nest egg of $500,000. Think about how fast it would take a lot of us who don't even have $500 in savings
Right now.
to
Right
accumulate.
now, something come up.
The statistics say that it takes about 130 to 150,000 to live slightly comfortable while you're still at an earning age. And so, where's the leverage to save with?
There's none.
That I'm not gonna lie, like that fucking took my breath out. That's crazy.
And like I said, when you told me this, I said, man, I got something so hard hitting for the end of this lesson. It's going to be like a gut punch to us, right? This is a gut punch to our community. We're done. We're finished as calling ourselves, oh, nigga, I'm a good provider. Nigga, you ain't no good provider compared to what you actually need to do to survive.
Think about how many brothers is listening to Kevin Samuels and they clapping when he's dogging the sisters out, but Kevin's also telling you that you nowhere near on par to even save this 500,000.
Yeah.
If it takes about $130,000 to $150,000 a year to live almost comfortable, right? And that's as a single individual, right? If it takes that, then that means 500,000 for retirement is going to take you 4 years. You're going to be able to be retired for 4 years.
You got to go right back to work. That's why they keep raising the minimum retirement age, right? Right, because they know that people here in Babylon, you do not have enough money to retire on, right? You are going to work until you die, and that's what they want. And if we don't want to be like that, because we're the princes and princesses and kings, we're the separate people, we're the holy people. And the Lord said, if we hear in Jeremiah 26, then we should take fucking advantage of it. And the best way to take advantage of it is through a polygynous lifestyle. The only way you and your family can reasonably retire comfortably is with that. I'm just being honest. Let me show you one more thing, right? And then I'm gonna kick it right back to the general, right? Let me stop this shit. I got one more screen I want to share and show y'all this, right? And this is gonna be pretty hard hitting too, I think, Lord willing. All right, y'all see that? What did that say, right? See this? The question was I put in was the net worth of King Solomon today, and I asked you, well, why you want to know about King Solomon? Because King Solomon practiced polygyny. Okay, that's why I'm bringing him up. You know what I'm saying? And I know that he was king of Israel. You know what I'm saying? And it was expected for him to be wealthy, but Abraham practiced polygyny too, and he was known to be wealthy also. All right. Said that Abraham had much land and much wealth. Did he not?
Yeah. Like our people don't understand political marriage.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of wealth is accumulated through marriage, especially if you hold a good rapport. Men will be like, I'll give you my daughter.
The king of Egypt.
Right. What the scripture says is that a wise woman will bring inheritance to her husband.
That's right.
And we're very disconnected from that because we want the wrong shit, and it's not our own fault.
Hey, I even like this picture, boy. Salakia. I'm shocked. But that's actually a more accurate depiction. I thought it was gonna be Esau. Go ahead, though, Salakia.
Just saying that because you're from New York and y'all love y'all hats out there.
Hey, you know it, God.
I'm fucking, but like, just culturally, like, damn, we're behind because we choose to be at this point.
That's right. That's right.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say I appreciate you bringing that out, but I'm not gonna lie. That fucked my ego up just a little bit.
Nigga, we gotta step our game up.
Hold me down for a little bit longer so I can catch my breath, and I'll be ready to take back over.
Con. So I want to get into this, man. Go ahead, handle your business, King. Right. So what I'm saying is that brothers and sisters, brothers especially, we have to step our game up, and sisters, humbling yourself down and being a support system and finding that we are going to need each other to get to where we want to be. And that's if we want to live in some type of semi comfort. If we have to be around to the age that we're at. I'm 40 years old, right? If I want to, reasonably retire, Lord willing, well, I don't gotta be here another 25, 30 years. Whoa, Lord willing. But we don't know. Nobody knows the day nor the hour. So you should be preparing yourself. And the only way to prepare yourself, is to get your income right. And a way to do it, and if you're doing it in the right way, is to have a family, where you have multiple children, multiple wives, but you're doing it in a righteous way. All right. Where we all share each other's burdens in a sense. All right. But I brought up King Solomon to show with the practices that he had, like the brother Ash was saying. I mean, he married, he had wives with princesses from different countries. These were arranged marriages of convenience, for peace. You know what I'm saying? For trading purposes, for treaties. And look at the wealth through all of those concubines. It says that King Solomon had what? 500 concubines, like 300 wives, All right. Look at his net wealth, 2.1 trillion, right? And all of this didn't just come from being king of Israel. King Solomon was wise in those marriages. He entered into the bartering and the trades that he did with the nations round about, gave Israel during that time a golden age. It was said that during the time of Solomon, King Solomon, that I think it said that that gold was like silver. It was everywhere. Everywhere. All right. So polygyny is a way to build health and to build a strong family culture. Right. Again, family, the average black woman does not make enough money if she's going to be a strong, independent black woman to retire alone. You cannot retire and be set in retirement off of $28,000. All right. Okay, that's not going to be enough. Right. And that's why the family structure is so important. I'm especially speaking to the woman now, right, to have that husband, right, and that extended family. Right. You need that. All right. These things are important. All right. So I definitely wanted to share that. I mean, but like I said, you had brothers like Abraham, Jacob, these brothers had multiple wives, you know what I'm saying? And it was a benefit. It wasn't a negative. All right. So we have to start looking at it in that way, looking at it as nation building and wealth building and family building. We want to retool our people's social economic structure, right? How important is having our people, even here in Babylon, being on a better social and economic footing? Wouldn't that be amazing, right? And we could get through that if we all, men and women, if the man, you humble down and understand that you have to correctly step into your role as a man to be the provider. All right. And be masculine. And woman, you have to correctly step in your role to be that man's peace, right? And to be his helpmate. All right. So that entwine y'all together, one flesh, and make shit happen. All right. So look, I wanted to share these things. I was definitely glad that a powerful brother Ashrakar asked me to come in on this section, because I really felt like in my spirit once he asked me, and I was thinking about it before the lesson start, that I wanted to bring something forth that would be helpful, and would be helpful in a way to where men, you brothers, will put things in perspective. We got a lot of work to do. A lot of brothers pop big shit. Big shit. I myself pop big shit. And I'm woefully falling short right now to where I need to be to provide for my family. All right? So you can't just think, oh, I'm gonna come into this truth and I can have me another wife and I'm gonna rule over my woman and I'm gonna get my jollies off. No, bro, you got to step up and be a man. And being a man comes with responsibilities. All right. So, hey, with that being said, step your game up, brothers. Step your game up before you talk about you want another woman. All right. And if you desire another wife, right, be faithful and diligent to the Most High, keeping His law, statutes, and commandments. And what He'll do, He'll give you the desires of your heart. All right. And I point here, I know I pointed here first, but I meant to point here because this is what it's talking about. What's in your mind, He knows. If you're faithful to Him, He'll give you that. All right. So, Lord willing, that was edifying for everybody. Appreciate y'all. You on mute, I
said outside the God, I was edifying. So brothers, then we got to stop looking at women like treats. Because if we're going to do that, you don't deserve no treats.
No, you don't.
I know I don't.
Me either.
You got to be ready to get to work. And then when you're done working, be ready to get to work. Like the fantasy about you got a bunch of wives running around doing everything, but you sitting on the couch playing the PlayStation.
Call of Duty, and Fortnite.
Every now and then it should be able to come onto you. But you got to be in the spirit of getting busy. So put the email in the chat again because we're trying to gather like-minded brothers. We got ideas, but we need foot soldiers. We need brothers who is about action. So if you want to help us in the ministry, hit us up. Fire of God Classroom at gmail.com.
Right. And if it's on your spirit, you like what we're talking, and brother, sister, maybe you in an area, you can't get to us or, whatever reason, man, there's nothing wrong with donating to the ministry, right? Because we got a mighty work to do. So if you could, all the donations they're greatly appreciated, man. But again, man, I'm not where I need to be. I've fallen woefully short, right? Understanding what it's going to take, right? Now, it's not done. The time is not over. But again, you can't look at your wife or your wives as a treat. You know what I'm saying? For you to sit on your ass and do nothing. No, you got a responsibility. So this should throw a lot of cold water on a lot of you brothers out there. I don't care what camp organization or you just sitting your ass on the couch right now talking about, oh, I'm a man and the Bible said I can have another wife. Nigga, how, Sway? Get your shit together first. When you got your stuff together, then desire another wife, man. And for you sisters, right, desire one at that point, right? And get that. And then for you sisters, you make sure you be in the pillar of the rest. Help me, right? Step into your femininity, all right? And your submissiveness, right? Make sure that you're complimenting your husband, right? Make sure, right, that you that you don't want to overtake him. You know what I'm saying? You want to play the background. You know what I'm saying? And that's not a bad thing. That is a good thing. And that actually shows your strength. All right. And shows your love for him. All right. That's your strength from home. All right.
I know I actually hit niggas with an uppercut, but you exceeded my expectations again.
Hey, look, you thought it was going to be all sweet. I'm getting on your ass too, King.
I said, knock them out. Look, I said, hey, Cap, we need to shake niggas, man. We need to shake niggas, man. We need to, look, we're going to talk about poly. We're going to get on the sisters a little bit, but we need to get on these brothers. Cap said, oh, all right. When he said it like that, I should have known. I knew he was going to put in some work, but I hope, brothers, I really hope that was cold water on your face.
It should be.
As well, because we are supposed to, that feeling right there is important. Stress, right? Stress is a survival mechanism. We feel that stress and we're supposed to react with logic. The logic should be, I got to work harder. Maybe you're not pleasing the Most High enough. Maybe you're not applying yourself enough. Maybe you're too afraid of your woman to get off the couch. Maybe you're blaming your woman, or maybe you're expecting her to do all the heavy lifting. But whatever the case may be, it's the time to look at yourself, because inflation is only increasing. Them numbers right there going to be double tomorrow.
Right. Look, I'll just say 3 to 5 years from now, that number to retire on is going to probably double. By the time we in this generation, if you're anywhere around my age, around 40 years old, right, younger or slightly older, that number, man, you're probably gonna need $5 million to retire comfortably by that time.
If they don't do a reset first.
Right. So like the brother Osh told me, I got something for you. And take this not as I'm trying to beat brothers down, but I'm trying to motivate us to be better. All right, and that goes for me too. All right. So with that, hey, I'm gonna go. It's been great to be here with you. Everybody out here, fam, I'm gonna say call hello, Yahawashi, hamashiach, Yahawashi. Hey, barakatah to you, big brother Osh, man. I know you're gonna go ahead and take it home, King.
Shalom.
Shalom.